Alright, so as far as the prospect of simulation in the art of the actor's eye, it appears that we've only been able to see ourselves without looking through the lens clearly. So what I have to do is sort of intellectually respond to what I was saying before about what my mind was saying about what I was reading in this chapter of a book called Acting Without Agony. Very rare book, very hard to find, very uncoverable, very recovery. So it's very nice. Add a dash there, that'll be cool. Okay, so basically the uncovery and the recovery of what I took from this chapter is as follows. You have a man who is going through time discovering himself as an actor. You have a person who questions his religion, his faith, his spirituality. Everything that doesn't apply to acting in itself is the essence of the character. Finding out what the true psychology, the mental state, the growth, the conundrum of everything that ever has happened to that person's memory, or could have happened based on your imagination of what you could fathom, based on the imagination you've acquired by unlocking the unbias of having fact for itself, has allowed you to become in the character that you need to be. So it's just about unlocking what you need to be to make the character who you want to be. It goes off to follow through by finding your out-of-the-box experience to find that sort of actualization so that you can get the accolades, the sort of the facts that are going on as you sort of intellectualize the fact that you need to make it happen. So as you are discussing characters, you need to find how they would break the box so that you go outside of, so that when you are a person who becomes a genius, you need to make sure that you have multiple aspects of perspective to break your outside of the box, to sort of crisscross and apply them, so that you can find your own pattern to methodically sort of rejuvenate everything that seems to be, or even becomes what could have been. So, as far as it goes to that, it gets into that, and it'll tell you about emotions when it gets to the latter half, and it gives an example that goes off into intellectualizing what it is to be an emotional person. And to sort of break it down, that could seem a little daunting, because there are a lot of emotions that tend to run through a person's mind every day. But if you do think about it, there is one tendency to have a general emotion, so that's all you really need to find. As custom of a general emotion as you can find, which actually sounds pretty daunting because you've got a general custom emotion. So you need an understandable one, but at the same time you need one that is going to be coherent and at least a little bit unique so that you have some unity and some essential unveiling of what is currently overstimulated without being noted in the economy. Because there's a quote in there that is to be quoted and referenced out of context by me within the same range of what it means to be said as, sorry, I lost sense there by trying to explain what I was going to do. Take something out of quotes and put it in summary. You basically need, as an actor, to find that you have problems in society that need to be addressed so that it's dramatic enough so it's noticed, but not in actualization in a copy of society. It's a unique form. It's a formalization of what could be unique with the unity of that reality. And you make it address, you put it in the character, and you don't digress, you just get back into the addressing of the fact that it's there while you are the character going through a story. Because the story is the main component, and your customization of the character's actualization is the reality that you get to play your part in. So you don't want to be, advertising yourself while you're in the middle of a role, because that would just be phenomenal. It would actually bankrupt you, so it would be a phenomenal fail. But it would be phenomenal. That would be a bad thing. So getting back on track to where we were, we're at the end of the chapter. So getting on that single track emotion, you need to pick that one and stick through with it. So to use an example of somebody going through a divorce, and there's a lot of complexity there because it seems like you can put up shields. Now, when you're putting up shields, you're putting up faces to sort of hide that problem, that emotion, that thing you're trying to get through, that thing you're trying to fight against, but you just can't because your character's convinced. And that's where you have your out-of-box stimuli to sort of show and unveil the shield of how you're hiding. So you can have multiple shields, multiple perspectives, multiple ways of moving. Me, when I'm talking normally, I tend to sort of over-articulate and over-gesticulate because I'm a very hyper person. But when I want to explain things logically, I want you to hear it nice and concise. And I want you to get as much information as you can in a detailed amount of time. So we've got about 4 minutes of information and about 10 minutes of reading out loud. So as far as that goes, I'm also just, veering off the top of my mind. So, getting there, it just takes it. But that's pretty much it for the chapter, so we're going to move on to chapter 9 next because we just did chapter 8, so that's probably what happened.